We just spoke with Dwayne Johnson, the man in this case, the plaintiff and his attorneys. They are, of course, thanking this jury, and his attorneys are saying this verdict, $289 million, will enable him to afford cutting-edge cancer treatments. Mr. Johnson maintained his composure today in court as that verdict was read. His attorney put his arm around him. The jury had deliberated for 2.5 days after 2 months of trial proceedings. The jury finding that weed killers manufactured by Monsanto, Roundup, and Ranger Pro were substantial factors in causing harm to him. Johnson worked for Benicia School District in 2012 as the integrated pest manager, and a large part of his job was to spray those products in bulk 30 times a year. 2.5 years into the job, he was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. This is the first of thousands of cases like it against Monsanto.
I'm glad to be here to help with this situation after I learned about Roundup and glyphosate and everything. I'm glad to be here to be able to help, but the cause is way bigger than me. So hopefully this thing will start to get the attention that it needs to get right so folks can make a good choice.
The verdict today, it doesn't change the overwhelming scientific evidence and the 40 years of safe use of glyphosate around the world. It is the most widely used herbicide in the world. It's the most widely studied herbicide in the world.
A little bit more about Dwayne Lee Johnson. He is a father, he's a husband, and his attorneys have said that he's on borrowed time. They didn't expect him to make it to this day because his cancer is terminal. Now, Monsanto's vice president, who you just heard from a moment ago, has said that Monsanto will appeal this case. He also said that Monsanto has no intention of settling the thousands of cases that are expected to come forward like this one. He says despite this verdict. And a little bit about that appeal. Mr. Johnson's attorneys just said that while that appeal happens, Monsanto will have to put the full amount of this verdict, so $289 million, into a bond, and that it will accrue 10% interest each year while it's in that bond.